What's going on, guys? This is Kevin from Cinephellas, and I am here to just basically just slightly touch on everything that I've seen in January. I think for the new year, this would kind of be fun going through each thing I see. I kind of watch a lot of film. I'm known as the movie guy on the website. The other guys, they do watch their films, but they do, you know, do a lot of TV. Like I'm so bad with TV. I have not even watched Hawkeye. I'm fine on Boba Fett and anything popular is I'm pretty much haven't seen, but you want film stuff and you want film news, I'm your guy. So I'm just gonna go through what I've watched. I got a little list right here. From the worst thing I've seen to the best thing I've seen in January 2022. So let's go. Okay. The worst film I probably saw this month was Red Notice. It's with The Rock, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds. It's just every terrible, terrible action cliche rolled into one. The Rock is fine, Gal Gadot is fine, but Ryan Reynolds, man, come on. Ryan Reynolds, it's his shtick of one-liners for 2 hours. It is not fun. Ugh, no, thank you. Then I'm going into like the 3-star stuff. I'm sorry, not 3 stars. We do hair pieces. So the three hair piece thing. Don't Breathe 2. Don't Breathe 2 is the sequel to the remake of the I forgot what year it was, but basically Stephen Lang, some of you know from Avatar, he was the evil colonel or general. In the first one, he was blind, and you got a bunch of robbers who went into the house, and he slowly picked them off one by one. He was kind of painted as the villain, even though he's not, because these kids were trying to attempt to rob a blind man. So in this in the sequel, they basically make him a hero who is protecting a young girl, and he has to get the girl back. It's a good film. I liked it. It was a good follow-up. It wasn't crap. And definitely check it out. If you like the first one, check it out. And now I'm going to three and a half hair pieces. Very popular movie right now. It just got a sequel, by the way, is Scream. It is the fifth one, even though it's just titled Scream. I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. There was some stuff that I liked. With a lot of these movies where they're basically taking stuff that was very popular from my era when I was growing up, the 90s. They kind of sprinkle in new stuff, but they keep the feeling of the old one. There were some things I liked about this movie, and there were some things I didn't. I was very mixed on it. When the cast comes back in the original, that's when this movie really shines. And there is a certain aspect to this movie I'm not going to spoil. You probably all know what it is for you who've seen it, that I did like, that involves one of the past stars of the film, specifically the first film. But I won't say anything. But it's a good time. It's a good movie to go. I would pay for it. If you're a fan of our horror or the original Screams, I would definitely pay for it. The next three and a half one I have here is The Card Counter. Paul Schrader, who did First Reformed with Ethan Hawke and Amanda Seyfried a couple of years ago. This is his new film with Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac, who is going to be in Moonfall for Disney Plus, part of the Marvel Universe. He's a great actor. Anything he does, he did with Chastain, Scenes from a Marriage for HBO, and that was depressing as hell. But you're seeing two Juilliard actors go at it, and that's a treat. This one was good. I liked it. The story was intriguing. It was a little slow and depressing. Tiffany Haddish shows up. I like Tiffany Haddish. I think she is very talented, and it talks about issues such as the war in Iraq and the torture of prisoners. It's a good film. The next three and a half film I have is The Lost Daughter. It is Maggie Gyllenhaal's debut as writer and director. It's based on a very popular book. You have Olivia Colman, you have Dakota Johnson, you have Ed Harris, and Jessie Buckley, who I love. I love Jessie Buckley. I think she is a rising talent, and I can't wait to see more of her. This one was very depressing. It's a story of, I actually really can't say that much about this one because the less going into this one is a little, will benefit you for the experience. But it's well made. I basically want to see what else Gyllenhaal has up her sleeve. So hopefully she sticks to being a writer director. I think she's a great actress, but I'm interested to see more stuff from her. The next one we got is Raya and the Last Dragon. Beautifully animated, beautifully animated. It's just it's crazy how far we've come with this animation. Like it's a beautiful film. One thing I did not like about this film was Aquafina. She's supposed to be the comic relief, and just like I felt about her in Shang-Chi, she's funny, but she's a little too much at times. And specifically with the dragon character, I know what she's trying to do. She's trying to pull in younger viewers, and they might find this chick funny, but I kind of felt tiresome. It was very tiresome. Good movie. Kids may like it. I'm giving it 3.5 though. Now we're going up to the four hair pieces. You have Rebecca Hall. Rebecca Hall directed and wrote what the hell was that movie? Passing. Sorry. Yeah, she wrote Passing for Netflix last year with Tessa Thompson and Ruth Negga. It's getting awards attention. I definitely think it deserves awards attention, but she also starred in a movie last year called Night House. It is about a woman who has suffered a loss. Her husband has died. They had a lake house. And the more she sees, the more she basically lives in that house post his death, she starts finding out really crazy stuff about how he may have not been the perfect husband that she thought. There's supernatural elements to it. I thought it was a great film. Not a great film, a good film. And Rebecca Hall is really great. I think she should be more popular than she is. But, she's now a writer director. And I thought she did a great job of passing out. If you've never seen it, it's on Netflix. It's black and white. And, it's a great, I think it's a very, very good movie. With this one, with the Night House, I did like it, specifically Rebecca Hall's performance. And I look forward to more stuff from her in front and behind the camera. Now we're going to 4.5s, which is Stillwater. Stillwater was last year's film starring Matt Damon, where he goes to France to try to free his daughter, who is locked up, played by Abigail Breslin. She is accused of murder. He wants to help her. He has a strained relationship. He's a flawed character. It's a little caricature, his performance of a Midwestern American, the trucker hat, the tucked in flannel shirt, the specific speech pattern that he gave the character. But that is what I think makes his performance really good. You feel empathy and emotion for him. He comes off ignorant at times, but he's an American in France and he doesn't speak the language. And that's one thing I liked about the movie. He really is a fish out of water in this film. And his grown appreciation for the culture and its people. He gets very close with specific family because the woman he befriends speaks French. So he kind of uses her as a translator. It's a long film. I'm not going to say it's, it's exciting. It's kind of it's being sold or was sold like Taken. It's not really like Taken. There are elements of it, but it doesn't really get crazy like Taken. But I thought it was a very good film. It's from Thomas McCarthy, who did Spotlight, which basically won Best Picture in 2015. I really liked it. I thought it was enjoyable, very enjoyable, and maybe one of the 10 best films I've seen this year. I'm still finishing up my list. I'm not a professional critic, so I don't have the time or the resources to basically see everything like that. But it will probably land pretty low in the top 10. But I recommend it. If you like Matt Damon, see it. If you don't like him, don't bother. He is the movie. He's in almost every scene. Now I'm going to talk about the two films that I gave 5 out of 5. First, The Green Knight. David Lowery took Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, a famous poem, and he adapted it into a beautiful, visually stunning movie. This is what cinema is made for. Dev Patel is the lead, and I thought Dev Patel was great. He's a great actor. He was in Lion and Slumdog Millionaire. And the older he gets, I think the better he's becoming. He's maturing, and he has a very mature look. And he was great. It was visually beautiful. I basically recommend this one. Obviously, I give it 5 stars or 5 hair pieces. So check that one out. And finally, I will briefly talk about this one because I am going to have a review on it on the site. It's called The Tragedy in Macbeth. It is the new film from the Coen, not the Coen brothers. You got one Coen here. You got Joel Coen adapting the famous Shakespeare play. It's incredible. It's not surprising that it's so good. You have Joel Coen directing. You have Frances McDormand. You have Denzel Washington and other famous actors scattered throughout this one. But Denzel plays Macbeth, McDormand plays Macbeth's wife, but the performance that is just as good as them is Catherine Hunter. She plays the witches. She plays three witches. This woman not only can recite the Shakespeare dialogue with such beauty, but she can move her body in such ways that it's crazy. Like you have to see it. He did it. Joe Cohen dedicates a whole scene to it. But it's just her contorting her body because she's supposed to be like a mysterious, weird figure in the movie as a witch. The cinematography is amazing. It's worth the price of admission on top of her performance. It was all shot on a sound stage, but it doesn't have that stagey feel. It's very cinematic still, and I just thought it was a triumph. It's not getting a lot of love from award shows. The Oscar nominations come out Tuesday, and based upon the nominations for SAG and other stuff, this movie's kind of flying underneath the radar. So it's totally going to get forgotten, or it's going to surprise and get a lot. I think it deserves it. I think it's better than a lot of the films I saw last year, and I do see a lot. And again, Catherine Hunter was incredible. She's a famous theater actor and specifically Shakespeare, and she owns it. Like, oh God, it's such a good performance. And Denzel and McDermott are great too, but you expect that for them. Hunter is not as famous as them, but be prepared to be blown away by her. And I expect to see her on Hollywood a lot more because she's great. Absolutely fantastic performance. Great movie. It's on Apple TV, and I know it's in some theaters here and there around here in New York. It's playing in independent film theaters. If you have Apple TV, if you know with someone on Apple TV with a high definition television, ask for their password. Hey, you want to see what's like watch Macbeth? How it's Denzel Washington doing Shakespeare. It's going to be amazing. Anyway, that is what I've seen for January. So I am Kevin Muller. Be sure to check out our bi-weekly podcasts with the guys. I missed the last one, and I'm looking forward to getting on with the guys tonight. And that's it. And as we say on the site, cheers.